Fhs Season Tickets.
Welcome back to another episode of Fhs Season Tickets. I'm Nick.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Christian.
And today we're going to get into college football, NBA, and NFL. It's a loaded episode of Fhs Season Tickets.
Yeah.
So let's get into the first game of college football. Mike, can you break it down for us?
Yeah, the first and only game of college football we're going to be previewing. Washington takes on USC in a Pac-12 showdown. I'm going to go with USC to get the upset. I took them against the spread over Washington. This team has been playing so well in the past 5 games after they made the quarterback switch, and I think USC is loaded across the board, and this will be a very close game. I think USC will get the win in the end. Nick, who do you have?
I don't agree that USC is loaded across the board.
Yeah.
I don't think that they have that much talent as he says, but I do think this is definitely an upset potential. I don't fully believe in this Washington team yet. I don't agree with how great their schedule has been thus far. So I do think USC is going to get this upset. I think it's a big trap game. USC does have some talent, as Mike said, in those skill positions. I think this is one of those games where Washington underestimates USC and USC just comes on top. Christian, who do you have?
I'm going to be the single man out. I'm going to pick Washington because they've been playing well this whole season. Regardless or not, their opponents have been their talent levels have been that great, but they still have been winning, so I'm going to keep it for Washington. They're going to keep rolling.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means for
Yeah.
USC. I think
it's going to be a tight game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game.
I think my prediction is saying more about USC than it is about Washington being bad. I really like this USC team. I think they're underrated at 20th in the college football playoffs.
Now we're going to get into college basketball. Quick transition. This is starting up, finally. College basketball has arrived. I'm really not a regular season college basketball guy, though. I really like March Madness, as everyone does. But our first matchup we're going to get into is Michigan State, Arizona. This Michigan State team is really interesting. This Tom Izzo-led team. Usually it's a veteran lineup, but now they actually had 2 5-stars. I know one is Bridges. Miles Bridges, really fantastic beast, small forward. He can get things done athletically, which is going to be a new injunction into this Michigan State team. Arizona, they lost some talent that they had, some NBA draft talent, so it's going to be cool to see if they can bounce back, but I do believe in Sean Miller. But for this, I'm going to go with Izzo. I'm going to go with that coaching, that program. I really like their team so far. I really want to see if this is a flop team, but I'm picking Michigan State to beat Arizona. Mike, who do you got?
I'm going to go with the Spartans as well. They have a really loaded recruiting class. And also Arizona, you mentioned they lost some guys from last year's team. Also Alonzo Trier, we're not really sure what his situation is right now. We just know that he's not playing right now. And also they lost a 5-star recruit. He's going to be playing overseas, Terrence Ferguson. So that's another huge loss for the Wildcats. So I think Michigan State does get the victory early. Peplin, who do you have?
I got Michigan State. You guys basically summed everything up, and I just think Tom Izzo's a great coach.
Yeah.
The next game in the same classic, we're going to go Indiana versus Kansas. I'm going to start off with this one. I'm going to take Kansas. They are very reliable, have won, I believe, 11 straight conference titles. That just shows the kind of program Bill Self has made, and Josh Jackson is going to be the best player on the floor. And I don't think O.J. Ginobili is going to be able to shut down Josh Jackson, and I think he has a huge first game in college. Christian, who do you have?
Yeah, I got Kansas. Bill Self's also just a great coach. He's established a great winning program. Who do you got, Nick?
This Indiana team is really devoid of talent. I really think the talent, NBA talent to be specific, is the big thing in college basketball, is the big thing in basketball in general. So the infusion of Josh Jackson that they have, I'm pretty sure Carlton Bragg is still in that lineup too, former 5-star himself.
Big year this
year. I think that, and obviously Bill Self is a great coach. I think that this Kansas team is going to do great things this year. It really just boils down to Kansas being a better team, more talent. Josh Jackson, like these guys said, are just going to have a great year. I do expect a good game from him.
Next game we got is Villanova versus Purdue. Personally, I got Villanova after they kept 3 of their starters from last year. Yeah, I don't really know too much about Purdue, so I can't really explain about them and how their skill and all that. What do you got, Mike?
I'm going to go with Villanova. I think that this game is going to be won in the experience that Villanova does have. Purdue had a lot of good bigs last year, but a good amount of them left the program. Isaac Haas, A.J. Hammonds, and also Caleb Swingen. A couple of them are gone. But they do return Vince Edwards, who's a good piece, but I'm not sure how they're going to match up with Villanova. Guys like Josh Hart are going to be huge for the Wildcats' success if they want any chance of retaining that national title. I do think the Wildcats get off to a victory in this one. Nick, who do you have?
I would take Purdue if, like Mike said, those bigs would have stayed, but I just can't have it in me to pick Purdue. I'm not liking this Villanova team, though. Same team as that championship team. I don't think Josh Hart is going to take that big leap that everyone is expecting. I think he'll have a good year, but I don't think it's going to be to the superstar status in college basketball. But I still will pick Villanova against this weak Purdue team that doesn't have that many pieces, as Michael already said. Now getting into my favorite sport, my favorite league, the NBA. We're going to be talking about just specifically, we've had a great opening start to the season for this NBA, but a lot of people showing out, just like we suspected. And we actually want to break some of that down. Christian hasn't made his MVP pick yet on the show, but me and Michael both have Michael picking Damian Lillard, I myself picking LeBron. So we really want to talk about that, talk about the early MVP, where it's going, where it's headed, and if we're still staying solid with our pick. Christian, who's your pick for MVP?
Well, I'm going to start this off. Everyone said, oh, he's just a ball hog. He's not going to help his teammates get any better. Well, James Harden has done the complete opposite everyone said he couldn't do. This dude is averaging 10, 12, somewhere double digits assists. That's all you need to know.
Which is incredible.
Right, while dropping 30 points a game.
Yeah.
And grabbing at least 8 boards. My other candidates would be Russell, but he has way too many turnovers, and DeMar DeRozan, who's just balling out right now. But I just don't think the Raptors will. Anyone just because the Raptors won't be, their record's not going to be extremely great, but they could survive without DeMar DeRozan. I feel like if the Rockets lost James Harden,
they'd be trash.
Yeah, they would they would fall apart.
Yeah, I really like that Harden pick. I do agree that he's going to get a lot of recognition this year, almost so that he didn't get last year. He got no recognition. He didn't even make an All-NBA team.
Yeah.
So this year, I think that maybe they'll do a voter makeup. Maybe they'll actually pay attention to him this year.
Maybe they'll actually change it how the MVP is
not actual most valuable
player.
Right,
not just the whoever has the best team, the best player on that team.
Right. So my pick though, LeBron James, he's doing decent enough. I think that there's just so many people that are breaking out in statistical category, even though he does mean the most to his team.
Forget about LeBron.
Yeah, they'll definitely forget about LeBron. He is the MVP of the league. He is the best player in the world, and he is the best rebounder. He's almost everything, the best of everything on the team, other than shooter on his team. On the Cavs, he could be that on every other team. So it's kind of ridiculous how he's not the MVP every year. But I don't think that he's going to get it this year. I don't think he's going for the stats that he needs to for this MVP, especially with all these statistical breakout seasons for all these players. But I do still think he is the real MVP. How's Damian Lillard doing?
He's doing solid. 30 a game. I mean, they did just get blown out by the Clippers by 30-something points, which was really bad. Mm-hmm. But he's still been showing out this year. Not really worried about that one game. Been playing well, so I'm cool with my pick. I wouldn't change it right now. I'd probably say second is James Harden, and I had him third or fourth at preseason.
Yeah. Too bad. Dude, I just have to give a little eulogy every day for Anthony Davis. Poor Davis on the Pelicans.
You can't be the MVP
Can we
without
trade
a win.
him? Can we trade him? Please, Pelicans.
Should we start a GoFundMe?
Yes.
Start GoFundMe.
I will pay
save
you.
Save Anthony Davis's career.
Literally, save his career. That will save his career if he gets traded to the Pelicans. But I think we can safely say that will wrap it up for this analysis of the NBA season in this episode of FHS Season Tickets.